to send inspiration your way for your life. So, this one is a short prompt inspired by my book, Permission to Sparkle. And actually, today, inspired by my card deck, because I also have a Permission to Sparkle card deck. I just pulled a card that I'm going to share with you as a play prompt to bring more sparkle into your life. And before sharing this with you, I did this for myself. So I will also share what came up for me. And you can see if something inspires you from that as well. All right. So I got one of these cards that, and I don't know, I'm going to find out if this is flipped or not. I'm going to read it to you. I have different types of cards in the card deck, and this one is all about sparkle. It says, and these are like empowerment cards that help you find more of your personal inner sparkle. So they always say on the background here, you are already a diamond. Find more of your gifts and what makes you awesome. All right. And then there's a play prompt in the back always. And this one says, do this. Listen inside. What does your heart say when you ask it to reveal one of your superpowers? Call it forward. You may get a silly message or a big one. All is valid. Pause and listen. You might hear an answer right away or soon get signs and wisdom. Ask, then let it go. And as always, stay curious. P.S. You may get an opportunity soon to play with your gifts. So that is your inspiration for today, your play prompt. And I'll also share it as an image in my community, Sparkle Town, where you can comment and engage with this after you play with it. Um, so I played with this for myself, and I really took a moment to pause and listen to my heart, um, to asking it to reveal one of my superpowers. And I found that there are a lot of words in here that are really powerful, actually, because it also says call it forward, right? And so the superpower that came to me was beaming with joy. And that's kind of interesting. Because it's basically, yeah, it's one of my superpowers, but I also believe that we can all practice this. It's a whole permission to sparkle game. So the more we do that and give ourselves permission to sparkle, the more we do beam with joy, right? Because we allow our natural joy to come through and to live from our joy. And so you can all do this. um, so I've done a lot of work over the years, by the way, to release more of my joy. And I wasn't always in this happy place that I am now, in this grounded joy. I had different phases of not having joy at all and actually getting mad when somebody was happy to burning out and all those things. And then I had a phase where I was like, oh, everything can be playful and fun, but I wasn't grounded in it. And sometimes people thought like, oh, she's just always sparkling and happy, but whatever, and they didn't take it seriously. There's actually so much magic and joy, right? But it didn't fully land for others. And then it started landing for me when I really started applying all these principles also in this super intense challenge that I went through with cancer, right? Um, and that's also when I ended up like really embodying joy for myself because I made it it was like my foundation and my absolute requirement to always focus on choosing joy in everything. So I made it kind of like a game to look at everything that would come up every moment. It's like, okay, what will lead me to more joy? And then to pay attention to my mind stories, to where I was telling myself no, or you can't do this, you can't ask for this, or oh, this has to be scary, blah, 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 all the things, right? Like, so I played the whole permission to sparkle game through this whole journey too. And so now I'm really beaming joy from a grounded place, which includes the dreaming, but it also includes the walking in it and the living life from it. from this foundation and doing this through all the challenges, whatever is going on. And even, when we don't think we're in a place where we want to be in life, or you have financial challenge, health challenge, whatever, um, I found that we can always find this peace and this joy. And so, anyway, so for me, when I really had this come up for me, beaming with joy as a superpower. Um, First of all, like I just sat with it for a moment and really felt it. And I want to encourage you to do the same because when you feel your superpowers, you suddenly realize, first of all, you can feel the magic of it, right? And you can feel um, how good it makes you feel. That's like one big thing, right? And so then you might notice things in your body. You might have stories that come to mind where you used your superpowers. You might get ideas of what might happen when you live from your superpowers. So it's a really cool play prompt to just really sit with us for a moment and see what comes up for you. Um, and how does it feel when you pick your whichever your heart brought to you, superpower from you, feel that. And so for me, what I ended up doing is I ended up journaling, beaming with joy for me. What does it do? And then I started with curiosity, and it became so juicy because I felt a bunch of things. I imagined a bunch of scenarios and I had a lot of ahas and awareness, and they were so cool. And so I'm just going to share a few, but I want you to be curious what comes up for you. First of all, with your superpower, right? And then what happens when you really live from that? Just imagine that for a moment. And then what can you do with it, right? Like if you picture superheroes and they have superpowers, what do they do with it and why? So you can really lean into this. This can be a very juicy journaling prompt. And also it can be a place to help you just really recognize some of the magic that you bring to the planet. Because it's so easy to get busy and to, forget our magic. And sometimes it's hard to even notice our magic because um, whatever comes so easy to us is hard to, is easy to overlook. Whatever comes easy is easy to overlook. And so all the more beneficial to play the permission to sparkle game and to have others reflected to you what they see as your magic and all of that. So stay curious. You will discover more and more the more you focus on it and the more you live from your magic. What happens also is then you're true to yourself and you support yourself in all those levels of well-being, of soul joy, of you step into your purpose. Your life becomes more meaningful, and you get such rewards because when you are in your zone of genius, others will love you and they will come to you and they will appreciate you for showing up with your zone of genius. And it's like when you imagine you go to a store and you have a very passionate, exciting staff member meet you there, and you're like, oh, and you love talking with them, and you love that they are so passionate about what they do because then oh my gosh, they're going to be amazing at their job, and you feel really taken care of, and it's joyful for you too, right? When you go to such a place, as opposed to a place where somebody just goes there to pay the bills and hates their job and like, oh my God, you want to get away from that person as soon as possible, right? So anyway, lots of juiciness in this. I'm curious what comes up for you. What did your heart say to you as what is one of your superpowers? And yeah, I will share a few that came up for me from my journal in my community, Sparkle Town. So if this calls you, come on over. I'll share the link to it below. All right. Bye, everyone. Happy weekend. And I'm excited to see some of your wins. Yay. Okay. Trying to stop this.